Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got in a camping stove to take a look at. This was sent to me by Traverse On, but this stove has a really unique design to it and it's supposed to perform really well, so I'm interested to test it out. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications of it. We'll put it to use and then give some thoughts on it. So what we're looking at here is the Buerk AEM-010 mini camping gas stove. Small and easy to store, 3,800 watts of firepower, strong load bearing performance, equipped with an ignition device. But let's get into this and see what comes with it. It looks like we have a bag. There's something in it too. Let's just get it all out. Some type of plate, we'll figure that out. And looks like we have the stove. And maybe some type of manual. So this looks to be in all Chinese. Pretty much everything is. Let's see about this. Okay, so this is the actual manual. There are some pictures, but every single thing is in Chinese on it. So I went to Traverse On's website and they have the exact same manual but in English on there, so I printed it off just to show you guys. All right, let's get the stove out of the package here and see what it looks like. So this is the stove itself. Very, very unique design. It's probably about the size of a palm of your hand, maybe a little bit bigger than that, but very, very thin. We are looking at a total width of about 5.5 inches and a total height of just over 2 inches. And this is obviously when it's folded. The included hose that's on it is about 22 inches in length. The stove in its lightest configuration is going to weigh 17.7 ounces. If you use the plate, that's obviously going to add a little bit to it. So we're just over 20 ounces. And this was actually attached and I unhooked it to do the weight, but this is a propane, like the 1 pound cylinder adapters. So if you were using that with it, we're just over 21 ounces. So let's see if we can figure out how this works. Looks like you just move these out different ways here. I'm just pulling, I can see where it hinges and I just pull that direction. We got 2 more here and then we'll flip these around. Those are a little bit stiff right now, but again, it's new. And I can see that this is now going to hinge this way. So I just turn it like that. So the instructions don't really talk about setting up the stove, but you can see there's a little like lip right here, and then it goes up into here. So when you set this up, make sure that that goes all the way up until it hits on there, and it'll be the same thing with this one. Go until it locks there. So it should look like this here. When you squeeze down, they shouldn't be able to move at all. So when it's set up to actually use, you're looking at a length of about 8 inches and a height of about 3.5. So some of the features of this little camp stove is it's supposed to have a 3,800 watt flame, which is pretty high for a small stove like this. And it's supposed to be able to boil water in about 3 minutes or so. We'll test that here in a bit. It also has what they're calling like a honeycomb design burner, and it's supposed to be fairly windproof. So I may take a fan or something like that and put on it and see how that works. You can control the flame here with this little valve. If you can see the plus and minus there, so we'll be able to adjust how much flame we do want. It does have a piezo electronic ignition. You can see it up in there. And this ignition is on this little like swing out arm, because obviously it's pretty close right there. It's kind of hard to get your finger there. So they designed this to where this will actually swing out, and then you got it out in the open. Pretty cool on that. The majority of the stove is made out of cold rolled steel. And even though it only weighs like basically just over a pound, it can support up to like 130 some pounds on it. So if you had a big pot with a bunch of water and food and stuff like that in it, you shouldn't have to worry about the thing collapsing or anything. As it's set up right now, it's designed to screw directly on top of like these isobutane type canisters. You can find these at pretty much any camping store, Walmart, anywhere like that. When I first did the unboxing, this is what was on top of this one. And again, this just screws on. This is designed to work with these butane cans. You can see this would fit right on top of here, and I'll show you guys this later. But again, you can find these at Walmart or pretty much any camping store or Amazon. They don't include it in this particular package they sent me, but they do make adapters that you can screw onto these 1 pound propane tanks. And also adapters that you can put on like larger, like 20 pound like tanks that you use for your gas grill. I mentioned the length of this gas hose earlier. It is a stainless steel braided hose, and then it also has like a rubber liner that's inside of it. As far as like what pots and pans and stuff you can use with it, just about any size, honestly. This is a old cast iron skillet that I'm trying to restore. I think it's a 10-inch. Fits on there no problem at all. I bet you could go, I don't even know, 16, 18 inches easily on that. Just like a pot, it'll again fit on there just perfectly fine. No issues with that. If you had a smaller one and you were afraid that like maybe it'll teeter in here or something like that, that's what this here is for. Basically just take this and kind of line these up with the legs, just set it on there, and then you can set your smaller little pot on there and not have to worry about it. It's usually not recommended to cook something directly in the can, but you could set a can right on top of that and cook it if you needed to. Whereas you can see without that adapter that the can will just fall right down through there. So yeah, that could work pretty well. So since it already has the butane adapter on, we'll try it first. And again, there's this little area right here that you just make sure is lined up with this. You're gonna push it on and then just give it a little turn till that feels tight. We should be ready to go now. Again, we have our plus and minus, so to get fuel going to it, we're gonna turn this up. Oops, there we go. You can hear it coming out now. Ooh, yeah, that thing ignited fast. I don't know if the camera can see that or not. I got the flame pretty high. Let's see how high it goes. Yeah, that is putting off some serious heat. I'm a few feet away from this, and that is like almost burning my legs. I'm gonna turn it down to like a medium heat. Yeah, I believe there's like 300 of these little holes going around that burner. I put a couple chunks of wood down because I wasn't sure if it was going to get hot underneath, but I don't think it's going to. But yeah, that thing gets a crazy high flame. I don't know if the mic is picking that up, but the flames are coming way higher than what these feet are. And if you're using the butane cans, you should always have it sitting down on the stand like that. And then whenever you're done cooking or whatever, just turn this dial back all the way down and it shuts the fuel off then. So I swapped out the fuel for some isobutane. I also grabbed 2 cups of water. It's reading about 74 degrees right now. So we'll basically see how long it's going to take to boil 2 cups. All right, let's get that poured in. Get the fuel turned on. And we are lit. I'm not going to make you guys watch the entire thing. We'll see if it's around 3 minutes or so though. Having a little stove like this from Buerk is great, obviously for camping, maybe backpacking or day hikes, picnics, stuff like that. They're also great for power outages or SHTF type scenarios. And I just wanted to show you just how little space this takes up compared to the one that I've had for several years. This is not even a fourth of the size, and it's way, way, way thinner as well. Plus this one can use 3 different fuel types, whereas something like this can only use 1. So I've had a chance to use this stove a few times over the last 3 weeks, and overall I really like it. I think it's incredibly well designed and well made. I think it's fairly lightweight considering the overall size of it, and it's really easy to set up and use. The instructions were in all Chinese, and I did print off those ones that I showed you earlier, but I honestly didn't even look at them. I just printed to show you that they're available on their website. Super easy to use though. Between testing and actually using it, I probably have hit that piezo ignition probably upwards of 60 times, and it has worked every single time. If for some reason it would not work, you can always still use matches or lighter or whatever to still light these. I like that you can use multiple different fuel types with this stove, and almost all of these are readily available either at camping supply stores, big box stores, even some gas stations will sell propane tanks. I like how they designed it to where those feet will kind of lock into place. Because even when you put like a large pot of water on there, the stove still seems very, very stable. It does not seem like it's going to teeter or tip over or anything like that. It also seems like these teeth on here almost help grab, again, a pot or skillet and prevent it from kind of like moving around at all. I thought the overall performance or output was really, really good. I don't have any way of knowing if it is 3,800 watts that they claim, but I can tell you that it did boil that 2 cups of water in under 3 minutes, so it was pretty impressive. I like how it has that fairly long gas hose, and then the few times that I used it, I didn't notice any leaks at all. Another thing to mention is after you have used it, it cools down in probably less than 5 minutes, and then obviously it packs away in a really small package. One thing to kind of caution you on, when you're bringing the feet up and then back down, make sure that they're kind of away from the burner. I actually put a gouge right there because I had this too close, and when I came this way I scratched it. So do make sure that they're out away. And the other thing, even though it is fairly compact and fairly lightweight, it may still be a little bit too big and too heavy for like a multi-week backpack type journey, across the Appalachian Trail or something like that. You'll have to figure out, what you need for size and weight. So at the time of me making this video, these are available on Traverse-On's website. They're coming in about $65 for the set that I have that includes that butane adapter. They do have other versions available that has the butane and the propane adapter, and then they have some that have some kind of like windscreen available, but starting out about $65. And I'll be sure to leave that link down in the video description in case you guys want to find out more information on the stove or to pick one up. Also, I believe there might be a discount code of maybe like 10% off. And so I'll leave that down in the video description as well. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.